But you belong to Reach. Your body, your armor, all burned and turned to glass. Everything. Except your courage.
Grievance, a feeling of resentment over something believed to be wrong or unfair. Halo Reach's story is best described as grievance, but despite this, its story actually benefits from this. Up until Reach, Halo players hadn't experienced an ending where you don't win as the player, but instead leaves you with the best and most impactful ending out of all Halo games. The main reason Halo Reach's ending is so good is because of identity. Look at games like Minecraft, World of Warcraft, or Skyrim. The main character of those games is you, because those games allow you to customize and give your character its own identity. Identity allows accomplishments and achievements to feel way more special than without an identity. Because when the player feels like they were there or doing the action, it significantly increases the game's meaning. And in the case like Halo Reach, it allows you to change your armor or colors like you did in the multiplayer and directly go into the campaign. Noble Six's mysterious character and unknown lore goes into Reach's favor because it allows players to view themselves as Noble Six compared to a character like Master Chief. Even though we knew what the end result for Halo Reach was going to be, we knew it was the prequel to Halo Combat Evolved. We all thought, even if it was just the slimmest of chances, that we could make it out alive and get the good ending. Because we had grown such a strong connection with Noble Six and the allies that he fought alongside with. We thought anything was possible because we were the main protagonist. This is why, despite Halo Reach not having Master Chief in its game, it actually has more identity than other Halo games. The first time players started to realize that Reach's story was going to be brutal and not like a typical Halo game was with George's death. George's death was a brutal death, filled with grievance, as all George cared about was Reach. And he was the only character in the game to die off the planet.
George always said he would never leave Reach.
The big man was sentimental.
He gave his life thinking he'd just saved the planet. We should all be so lucky.
We all make it sooner or later. Better get going, Six. They're gonna need you down there. Listen, Reach has been good to me. Time has come to return the favor. Don't deny me this. Tell him to make it count.
Besides the brutality of deaths throughout Halo Reach, Halo Reach's deaths are also full of extreme irony. Going back to George, George was the expert on weapons and explosives. However, he died in an explosion. Kat was the brains, hacker, and tech specialist of the group. Colonel Holland wanted to talk to Carter on an open channel, and the Covenant tapped into their channel, figuring out where Noble Team's location was at. Carter asked Kat if the Covenant would be able to tap into their channel, and Kat responded with, "I could."
How long for a secure link?
I can't guarantee secure anymore.
Could Covenant trace it to us?
I could.
Like most hackers, Kat was still thinking one step ahead rather than the present moment of danger, which was needed. As a result, Kat took a bullet to the head right where the brain is.
Where does he get off calling a demolition a priority one?
June, the scout, sniper, and stealthman of the group, didn't die like the rest of Noble Team, but like snipers do, he disappeared and was never seen again. Carter was the leader and captain of the group. He was the one who made the shot calls of the group, and the group almost always obeyed his order, even Noble Six, who is known as the lone wolf of the group. Like good kings and leaders, Carter went down with his ship, literally.
Solid copy. Hit him on, boys.
You're on your own, Noble. Carter out.
Emil, who is personally always my favorite member of the group, was a close-range expert, and his specialty was his knife. Emil died to an elite using an energy sword.
Who's next? I'm ready! How about you?
Noble 6 was the jack-of-all-trades specialist of the group. He was known for being a lone wolf. Noble 6 was also to be the last one to be fighting on Reach and die all alone like a lone wolf. ForeShadowing is present throughout Halo Reach. From the very start of the game, we see our helmet lying on the ground. We don't know why yet at this point, but obviously that is not a good sign. In the mission Winter Contingency, George references the Covenant as rebels.
So why would rebels want to cut off Reach from the rest of the colonies?
Not knowing who the enemy was, Noble Team was willingly flying in to fight the Covenant. But by the end of the game, after we had figured out who the enemy was, the Covenant are flying towards us. Before George's death, when George is putting the bomb on the Pelican, Noble 6 and the player are left with this really weird, eerie feeling. You don't know why, but it just feels like the bomb is not going to go as planned. Noble 6 in the beginning of the game is saved by Carter and his team from a Zealot with an energy sword. But at the end of the game, when Noble 6 doesn't have his team to help him, we see the same looking Zealot with an energy sword who narrowly escaped in the beginning, kills us. The Zealot theory is that Noble Team was being hunted down by a group of Zealots. It is up for debate if they were being strategically hunted down before Winter Contingency or after Winter Contingency. What we do know is that a lot of the cast died at the hands of Zealots. A lot of people believe that the Zealot that got away from us in the beginning of the game is one of the big reasons Noble Team had a bounty on its head in the first place. Kat got shot in the head by a Zealot, Emil died to a Zealot using an energy sword, and Noble 6 also died to a Zealot using an energy sword. George's bad luck on Long Night of Solace is a little strange when you take in consideration that it is also home to the Devoted Sentries, which was a Covenant crew of Zealots. What I am trying to get at is that almost every single death in Noble Team involved a Zealot in some sort of capacity. It is also extremely strange how the one mission that we had almost undisputed victory on, which was Oni's sword base, had white Zealots show up in the mission. The color of white in war effort is usually used to tell your opponent you are surrendering, or another way of interpreting it, a lack of danger is present. We could further use this logic to explain why there are two deaths that happened on Pillar of Autumn rather than just one. It was a crew of Zealots that showed up on Pillar of Autumn rather than just one Zealot. I believe Zealots in Halo Reach is a symbol of death or danger approaching the player. I find it extremely unlikely that this is just a coincidence, considering Bungie is known for having symbols and meanings throughout their games, as well as how the game has deliberate ironic deaths and disappearances with the characters.
But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory.
The scene shots in Halo Reach are done exceptionally well. Look at this scene from the mission Nightfall. It looks like we are just looking from Noble 6's point of view, looking at the Covenant fly by us so we can sneak around, but it isn't until later that we are actually revealed that we are just a cameraman POV behind Noble 6. I remember when I first saw this scene in 2010 as a kid, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. The sad but hard truth about this shot is that for a near 13-year-old game, this shot alone is better than most AAA game shots. The reason this shot works extremely well is it makes the player feel like they are actually moving around with Noble 6. A game making a player feel like they are actually there is the hardest and most difficult task a game can complete. And for Bungie, they easily achieved that with this scene. Another one of my favorite scenes from Halo Reach is when Dr. Halsey hands over Cortana to Noble 6. I remember as a kid, I personally had my hands sweating because I was scared Noble 6 was going to drop Cortana. Because again, I felt like Noble 6, and when Dr. Halsey was handing over Cortana, I felt like my controller was Noble 6's hands.
Do you have it?
Yes,
Say the words, please.
I have it.
A depressing scene that will always live rent-free in my head is when Noble 6 hands over Cortana to Captain Keyes. In theory, you should feel happy and accomplished that Noble 6 completed a near impossible task. But instead, you were just reminded about all the allies you have lost along the way, and all the sacrifices you and your allies needed to make to even get to this point in the first place. This scene reminds me of a quote my dad got from a family member: "If you brag about what you saw in war, you didn't see anything." Tip of the Spear is my favorite Halo mission by far. It is a near perfect mission for the climax of this game. I remember me and my friend Nick would play Tip of the Spear on loop over and over because of how much we enjoyed this mission. The beginning cutscene perfectly captures that this mission is going to be a battle. Tip of the Spear's main message is that the unknown is extremely dangerous. The beginning cutscene shows both forces using an extreme amount of resources on each other. We can't tell which force is stronger yet, but what we do know is that this is not going to be an easy task. Being at the climax of the game, Halo Reach makes you feel unstoppable. Seeing all the troops fight alongside you, and seeing all the vehicles and weapons at your disposal, it really does seem like you could win this war. You and Noble 6 fight extremely hard and narrowly make it to the Spire. You then fight the Covenant wave by wave until you get to the top of the Spire. And after this long and exciting battle, you manage to disable the Spire's shields, allowing your UNSC forces to be able to destroy the Spire. From the player's perspective, it seemed they had won the battle. Until...
No, somebody tell me this ain't happening.
UNSC frigate Grafton. Do you copy?
Grafton is dust. We need to get out of here now.
One thing that has always stuck with me ever since I first played this game as a kid was the life lessons it taught me. I know it sounds dumb having video games give you life advice, but for me personally, having simple things be reinforced has helped me a lot. In the case of Halo Reach, it personally taught me that even if an outcome is inevitable, accepting defeat is the worst choice you can make. Tying in with this, one thing that has personally left me sleepless is that Halo Reach teaches you that what you might be good at or known for could actually be your inevitable downfall in life. Don't get blinded by one path, be open to others. This is why the characters in Halo Reach are so likable and relatable, is because the characters have flaws. Seeing video game characters around the player not be perfect allows the player to grow a stronger connection to the game, which ties into the beginning of the video on how Halo Reach not having Master Chief actually helps the game. On top of the life lessons, one thing that has always stuck with me are the amazing Easter eggs present throughout Halo Reach. The Easter eggs in Halo Reach are by far the coolest and most interactive out of any Halo game. There's the Easter egg on New Alexandria where you can fly the Pelican and Phantom for the first time ever in a Halo game. There is also the Easter egg at the end of the package where you can go in and interact with Dr. Halsey's lab. And you can't forget about the Easter egg at the end of the Pillar of Autumn, where you get to see Master Chief in his cryo chamber. I've also always loved the consistency and love Bungie has for the number 7. Look at this scene from Winter Contingency where your gun only has 7 bullets left in the mag. I've always appreciated these small little details that developers put throughout their games that you might have missed out of during your first playthrough. Most recently for me was the date at the end of Halo Reach. 37 years after we had originally died, meaning 37 years of almost no one knowing what the end of our story was, except us, the player. If you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate you. As this video did take a little bit to make, however, it does not mean I did not like making this video, as Halo Reach holds a very special place to my heart. Leaving a like and sub is also greatly appreciated. Leave a comment down below if I should make more videos like these, and as always, thank you for watching.
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇淋。